Yep, that's my granddaughter, Rose Urban, 3 years old. I'm recording this on August 20th, by the way, 2021. Beautiful, isn't she? I bet some of you didn't know I was a grandpa. My official name is Papa, but I bet you guys didn't know I had a granddaughter, huh? You had kids young because I grew up in Oklahoma. And if you grew up in Oklahoma, they just teach you to have kids when you're like 19. No offense to all of my family members in Oklahoma. Anyway, yes, that's my granddaughter. She's beautiful. She's awesome. Got to hang out with her recently. Spent the whole day together, just me and her. You know, the usual, the park, pony rides, ice cream, cookies, McDonald's playground, you know, all the usual. It was awesome. Here's the point of the story. About a quarter of the way through the day when I was going to hang out with my granddaughter all by myself, my son, my 30-year-old son, her dad, he sends me a text. This is the exact text, okay? This is what it said. Lots of water for Rose, Dad. I'm looking at the text thinking, what? So he doesn't realize that I know children need water? He thinks I just left the house in the middle of the summer to take her to the playground with no water? Now, I know some of you are thinking, well, he's just being careful, he's being good daddy and all that. Yeah, that's true. It is, you know, all that's great. But I mean, really, come on. You're gonna text a 54-year-old and tell him that his granddaughter needs water? This happens a lot with younger people in the job market, okay, at work. It's easy when you're 30 years old and you're full of juice and you're super smart and you went to an Ivy League school and you're a young CEO of a company. You kind of look over at that 54-year-old in the conference room and you're like, he doesn't know. He didn't know anything. Yeah, we do. Okay. Older people have been through a lot of shit, more than you can possibly realize. You don't truly understand because you haven't done it yet. You're young. Okay. If you're older, you've seen it all. You've done most of it. In fact, there's almost no kind of human interaction experience that you could run past us that we couldn't give you advice on, meaning we've seen it all kinds of things with communication, people, personalities, relationships, emotions, you name it. Now, we may not know how to write code. All right. We're not software engineers, most of us. But when it comes to people and managing situations with relationships, and by the way, that's what business is, human interaction. So often it's all about the human interaction and communication. Old people know a lot and they can teach you a lot if you will listen more and talk less. That's usually my number one piece of advice for young CEOs. Listen more and talk less. Go to your old people. Use older people to your advantage. Go to them, ask them, say, hey, Johnny, I got this situation with Mary and Beth over here. You know, they're not getting along. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever experienced that? What would you do? I mean, just ask them. Doesn't even matter if they're on your leadership team. Maybe they're just a manager or a director level person in the office. Bring older people into your office if you're a young executive and ask them questions. Just say, hey, have you ever been through this? Have you ever seen this before? Maybe this older person was an executive a long time ago, and maybe now they're just a manager or they're sitting over in a little cubicle, right? Doing whatever work for you that you need done. Don't think that they don't know things. Believe me, they do. Okay. Don't discriminate against older candidates. Don't discount older people. They know stuff. I'm telling you. Have you ever been to an old folks home? Pull an 80-year-old aside. Ask them anything. Just ask them anything. They've probably been through it, probably seen it a million times and can give you a ton of advice. I see people young people all the time, just kind of discounting older people like, they're washed up. They can't remember anything. They don't know how the world works now. Things are different now. Human beings are the same. Trust me. Like I said, maybe there's some technology stuff that we haven't seen. Maybe we can't build spaceships and write code. But when it comes to dealing with human beings and communicating, trust me, we have a lot to offer. And I want to remind all of the young CEOs out there right now, looking at resumes that are, quote, long in their career. Don't just discount those people. Don't discriminate against them. If you have a room full of 15 employees, let's say you're a small startup, you got 15, 20 employees, and everybody's under 40, you're missing out. Okay. You need to hire somebody that's older that can bring in some seasoned thought processes with regards to human relations and communications, etc. They'll be able to teach you something. And there is my Riderflex 54-year-old tip of the day.